Hey, welcome to, you're either watching on two platforms, Gold Medal Coaching or my Katie Cannon page. So in this episode, you're going to learn about exactly what didn't work in my 10 years journey as being an entrepreneur. If you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. But what I really recommend is go back to a couple of the last episodes where I share my 10-year story, what went really well. And as I said, today it's all about what went wrong. So it's going to make more sense for you when you go back to them channels. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I release brand new material every single week on strategies to help you move forward in your business. Now, I don't normally do this, but this is a mixed episode across my two platforms. So what are my two platforms? I have a business called Gold Medal Coaching where I help people build epic fitness businesses and health and wellness businesses. From helping you start, develop, fill your studios, your gyms, your yoga classes, your online consultations, etc. And I also help people build epic network marketing businesses, which is my Katie Cannon brand. So if you're wondering and you're a little bit confused, I don't normally mix them together, but what I'm sharing in my 10-year journey is very relevant to both. So get your pens and paper at the ready because this is going to be epic. So what I'm talking about today is basically what went really, really well in my business and what didn't. Last week we talked about what went really well, and this week I'm talking about what has not gone so well. So this is a good one because it's quite long because there was a lot that didn't go very well. And I always say, don't be afraid of failure. I would not be where I am today if I hadn't made these mistakes. And quite often we look back, and I've totally done this, when I think, I wish I hadn't done that. God, I could be so far forwards now. Where would I be in my businesses if I hadn't done that? But you know what? We have to make them mistakes to be where we are. And the thing I see all the time, guys, in people starting their businesses is they're scared to invest. They're scared to fail. They're scared in case it doesn't work, lose money, look silly, whatever. Yeah, life's too short. Don't procrastinate. If you want to do something, do it. Because if I waited till 10 years ago to know all of this stuff, I wouldn't have moved anywhere forwards. I wouldn't be where I am 10 years on, and it would be a very different story. So just go for it. Go for it, my friends. So what went wrong, or what would I not do now if I started my business? As I said, a lot of these things I don't regret, but I said I wouldn't do again today. So some of these are going to be very related to building your own gyms, your own studios. So my Gold Medal Coaching brand. Some of it will be very related to network marketing. So number one, my top tip is, I started in very much schools and village halls. I see a lot of people, if I'm helping them build their own dance studios, their own gyms, their own yoga, their own fitness classes, whatever it is, you normally start with low overheads. This is smart to do. Absolutely. You've got to build from somewhere. What was really good is I had a selected village halls that I went round and taught, and I had a little bit of equipment in each hall. What didn't work? So that was a good thing. You have to start there before you go and get a massive big premises. What didn't work was I ended up going a little bit too happy clappy, and I ended up with village halls literally around London. I think I had, no joke, about 30 to 40 at one time. I had 2 hours there, 2 hours there, an hour there, 30 minutes, not quite 30 minutes, and go a bit too over TT there, an hour here, 2 hours there. And I ended up spreading myself so thin that nothing was working. I had 5 kids here, 20 kids there, 30 kids there, 1 kid there, 2 kids there, 8 kids there. And nothing was working. No systems. The quality of teaching was rubbish, to be quite honest. The equipment was rubbish because I'd spread myself too thin. And they were almost like pop-up centres, yeah? And they were working, making a bit of money, but it was not going to take us to the next level. So even though I recommend start small, but don't spread yourself too thin. Tip number 1. Tip number 2 comes into very much the same similar one, but we worked in a lot of schools. A lot of schools we worked in, and we still did up to around the 10-year point. And the reason why, it was good cash flow. Schools are great cash flow, but hard work to manage. You end up with a lot of stuff everywhere. So you end up with a 1 hour class here, 1 hour class there, which then backfires on your, remember what I was talking about last week in working with your main team. Find your key workers that are really amazing to you and respect the business and do amazing in the business. They're your key core team, okay? Freelancers are great, but you end up with freelance attitude. And that is what happens in schools. So even though schools, and going back to village halls as well, an hour here, an hour there, doesn't always work, because it's fine when you're doing it, absolutely. But when you're trying to delegate out and build that team, you get that freelance attitude of, and the amount of times I've had people cancel in the morning. I can't make it today, I got a cold. Oh, I got a bit of a cough. Oh, my head hurts. First, I'm like, oh my God, just get over it. Literally pull your big pants on and get out the door. You're not dying. You've got a cold. I'm so unsympathetic. It's ridiculous. But seriously, I have coached classes with no voice, with probably flu, with a major temperature. That's because it's my businesses and I super care about my businesses. But when you get your main key people, they will too. Freelancers don't. Okay, so tip number 3. Similar to before, too many premises. I was trying to run before I could walk. And there was a point, I'll take you back, so it was a bit of a dark time, in 2011 or 2012? End of 2011. So I shut down my first gym. And I'd kind of, in 2008, I had started in 2008. So I'm talking, share a bit of story here. So 2008, 2009, 2010. So in just under 4 years, I had gone from a complete startup business to growing 4 gyms. Hefty growth, yeah? Hefty growth. I look back now, don't know what the hell I was doing, but all good. Learn from it. I had no systems in place. I'm going to touch that on in a minute. I didn't know my major cash flow. I'll touch on that again in a minute. I grew so fast that I had nothing in place and then I couldn't manage that growth. So basically, I talk a lot on personal development. My personal development hadn't caught up with that size of business. So in 2011, end of 2011, I remember it very clearly, I shut down my first gym. Was it heartbreaking? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Was there a lot of tears? Yep. Did I question myself? Yep. I was literally like, I don't know if I can do this. I've lost like 30 grand. Literally, I think I lost about 30 grand because I had to invest to start the business in the first place and obviously maintaining it. And, but in the grand scale of things, I had to take the positives from that. And I thought, do you know what? I'm pleased I didn't have 20 premises and had to shut down 10. So you have to take the positives from it and what you can learn. Otherwise, you'll never grow and you'll never learn. You'll never do anything again. And I truly believe that's why I'm where I am today with the businesses that I have, because of scenarios like that. Do I want to repeat it? Not really. Will it happen again? Maybe in the future. You never know. I might open another gym in 5 years' time. It just doesn't work. You can do all the research, and sometimes, no matter what you do, things just don't work out. But I know now, in looking back, I know why it didn't work. I didn't have a great concept of cash flow. I didn't have a great concept of management, leadership, systems in place. I grew too fast, basically. I should have nailed the centers I had before I moved on to another one. So let my hindsight be your foresight there. So number 4 is going to the systems. I talked massively about this in my last episode. Systems have changed my business. I guarantee when we grow next and when we grow more centers, we're at that stage where we have systems in place to manage the growth. Before, I was trying to grow with no systems in place. So sometimes you can underestimate what a system can really do for your business. So them systems, no systems in place was a major key thing for the growth of our business. And I never forget my general manager, who's still with me. She's literally been with me 8 years. She's an absolute rocket ship for backflip. And my traditional gyms I remember her saying, gosh, we need a booking system. I remember the booking lines being off the hook. She couldn't manage it. I mean, she's a fast worker. She couldn't manage it. And when I know she says to me, I'm struggling, I know we have a problem. It was going so fast. We needed to make changes before we grew. I was like, if we can't manage 500 students in our gyms, how are we going to manage 20,000. Yeah, we've got to have something that can grow with us, and that's your systems, guys. So the next one I will cover, I think we're on tip number 5 or tip number 4, can't remember. So the next thing is going back to how your ethics of your business. I've made so many mistakes of hiring and firing the wrong people. And I go by now, and it still happens, don't get me wrong, you're always going to have this in your business. It is the hardest part of your business. And going back to switching over now to network marketing, this is one reason why I love building online network marketing businesses, because I don't have any of this. I don't have staff problems, premises, or anything like that. So if you're thinking now and you're running traditional business, traditional gyms, you can absolutely do both. But that is one of the biggest things that you don't have when building your online network marketing business. So going back to interviewing, I want you to just be clear of your ethics and what you stand for and what you're looking for in a person. Because when we're looking for and when we're interviewing, if they don't tick most of the list, we don't go further. They have to fit with our culture. If we have any gut feeling about them that we think, not quite right, or this or that, you don't move forwards. Yeah, you go with it. They're not going to be 10 out of 10. Don't try and go for 10 out of 10. Go for 8 out of 10 and then move forwards with it. But have a list of things in front of you of what your company stands for. So if you're looking for a happy, clappy person who loves children, who is really friendly, you're not going to employ someone who is really down and talks like this and has no positivity about them, and it just doesn't really like children, or I don't really like to talk to people, really. You know what I mean? You're not going to employ them because you're working with children. So think of your ethics and what you are looking for. So they're kind of the key things that haven't worked out, but that we turned into a positive. So going back, just recapping for you guys, I shared with you having too many premises way too soon. Yeah. And having freelancers all over the place delivering wacky, crappy classes, shall I say, of like an hour here, 30 minutes there, all over the place. Too many premises, growing too soon, growing way too soon before your systems are in place. And also interviewing and having your ethics all set out and clear, so you know exactly what you're trying to achieve and what you want from that person and how they're going to fit into your team. I do the same in my network marketing business. I interview people. Are they right for my team? Can I coach them to success, and do they want it enough? Yeah. So what do you want in what you're looking for in that person and the caliber of person that you're looking for? So just to end this episode, guys, I want you to embrace failure. Success comes from failure. If you're scared to make mistakes, you will stay where you are. Believe me, in the next 5 years, you'll be in the same position because you're scared to move forwards and make mistakes. You won't know if it works unless you move forwards. And it's very hard. I know when you look back and you think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. God, I wasted 2 years there. Didn't waste anything, because that is why you're here now. And that is part of your journey. So that is it, my friends, for this week. So down below, I've got loads of freebies. As I said, because this is a mixed episode, I've got 2 freebies, one on my network marketing, one on my gold medal coaching for you, depending what really floats your boat and what you're really interested in. I hope you found this really useful, and absolutely implement. I'm all about fast action and fast implementation. There's no point listening to these episodes and being like, yeah, that's great, I'm not going to do anything with it. Think of one thing that I've said and think, I'm going to really work on that. Even if it is getting a book on failing. There's loads of books out there on failing your way to success, or dealing with failure in your business, or dealing with objections if you're in network marketing. So even if it's something as small as that, and think, I'm just going to work on me and dealing with failure, that's fantastic. Just take one thing from the episode and move yourself forwards. So guys, have an amazing week. I'll be back with you next week, and have an awesome week.